Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Only Clams. As the title states, I am Clams, and it is only me today. One of my solo runs here. Really excited about some of the stuff that's upcoming, guys. I am really excited. Yesterday, I celebrated 10 months. It was also really cool to me. So I went to a meeting, and in that meeting, I ran into somebody that I haven't seen in quite some time. We've known each other since we were both like 15. She's been in recovery for some years now. I don't know exactly her clean time, but it's been some years. And I've reached out to her in the past when I was trying to, like, asking her for help. Like, hey, I want to get out of this. I want to start doing different. And I guess it goes to show, like, you're not ready until you're ready. And I'm just glad that I got to kind of share that time with her. I normally go to a night meeting, and I always message some buddies from the fellowship in the morning. And while speaking with one of them, texting back and forth, he had said he was getting ready to head to the noon meeting. And with yesterday being President's Day, I had no class and was just kind of chilling at home. I was like, you know what? I want to check out that meeting. I've never been to that one, so let's break that streak of not going and go. And hopped in the shower, got myself ready, made over to the town next to me where the meetings are, and lo and behold, she had walked in. So it was really awesome to see her. It's we both kind of shared on it. I thought it was really cool how we both talked about, when you see somebody else from your active addiction days in there in living the life of recovery. I don't know, it's different, you know what I mean? I don't know, it feels more real, like it's very obviously, you want to see other people no matter what, if you know them or not. You want to see other people doing good and living healthy in recovery. When you see somebody that you do know, though, that it holds more weight for sure. Yeah, and then also there's a family friend that had introduced me to someone who lives in a couple towns over, about 45 minutes away, or away, give or take. They've been going through, the ups and downs of addiction. I've been in recovery for a couple years now. And she's like, hey, you should reach out to him. I think you guys would do cool, because she heard about me doing the podcast, and was like, hey, reach out to him. I think he'd be a really cool guest, which I really appreciated, because that's when I was really just starting out. And then yesterday, he actually came into that meeting too. So that was fucking cool. I mean, I've talked to him, but only through like Facebook. But for him to come in and be able to actually meet him face to face, shake his hand, and say hello, this is who I am. I'm like, oh, okay, now I know who you are. And it's just, I don't know, that's cool. I'm hoping that at some point I can reach out to him and see if he would like to do an episode. Shout out again to the homie Gil. Again, man, you guys gotta check out Real Fakes by Gil. Makes some super cool stuff, man. I really love his art. I actually ran into his bandmate as well for Swordfish Perfume. I talked to Dylan and told him, hey, I want to get you guys on. So I think that I'm gonna try to make that one happen for sure. One of the next ones coming up is going to be Blackout. If you're into punk music, man, these kids are awesome. I love seeing the young generation really keep it going. The kids are, and I don't know all their ages, but I know that the vocalist, he's pretty young, man. I want to say he's like 15, 16, something like that. He is really good, though, man. Like, they is true punk. So, yeah, if you guys are into that, you check that out. I will be linking some content of theirs when I do that as well. I want to try and throw up as much content for them and share that around for my friends, man. I don't know Blackout that well. It's kind of a mutual friend thing, but from the time I've seen them perform, and then actually hanging out with a couple of them and talking with them and stuff, they're great guys, and I would love to help promote their stuff. Buy some merch, man. Help them out. Actually in the works of talking with Gil and seeing if he will help me with, I want to buy some original art from him, have him make me something for, some like cover art for like my Facebook and my YouTube. I think that'd be really, really neat. Going back to hitting the 10 months, so I honestly didn't even think about like, hey, it was all about going to that meeting. I was kind of bummed out a little bit. I didn't get to make it to my normal meetings. Now, it was for a good reason. Like I said, I usually go at night, but I was taking care of more important stuff. Not called into work. I was definitely glad to pick up a few extra hours. Um, from there, I headed back home. I had my son this weekend, and then I needed to, get him all ready and take him back to his mom's house. And I had stopped by and got gas, and then went and got him. And I didn't get off till like 6. The meeting started at 7. I got to drive like 20 minutes out to where he lives at. So time frame just didn't work out, which is totally fine. And it just makes me more appreciative of going to that noon meeting. Because that's how I got to celebrate my 10 months. It's crazy though, thinking that I'm 60 days away from hitting an entire year. It feels surreal. Like, I don't feel like it's been that long, but at the same time, it feels like it's been so long too. Like, I don't know how to describe that feeling. Like I said, it's just surreal. And I really appreciate everybody that's been involved in my recovery, who has supported me, and every single one of you guys who is checking out my content. I read the Just for Today this morning, and the meditation was good. Saying, you gotta remember, you gotta carry the fellowship, not the addict. And that's something I kind of questioned myself on with doing this podcast. Was, especially when I was leaning into doing it more recovery based. Am I crossing the lines, the boundaries by doing so? I think I have a good understanding of what not to do and what lines you shouldn't cross and stuff like that. I also know there's probably some people out there that highly disagree with me talking about it like this, but it's for me. I'm not, I can't tell anybody what they need to do. That's not how this works. Not everyone is the same. All I know is what's worked for me, and I want to share my experiences and allow other people to come on and share their experiences. And if it helps, it does. If it does not, it does not. That's really all it is. So I was just taking on that this morning. And also, so for my sociology class, I took my first exam I've taken since I was in high school. 13, it's over 13 years. Because I don't think I even took an exam or anything my senior year, because I pretty much finished when I was 16 years old, when I was a sophomore in high school, from getting my ass put on house arrest, from getting a Grand Theft Auto. I didn't get charged for Grand Theft Auto, but I full transparency, I took my grandmother's car, I got pulled over, I got thrown in juvie for a little bit, and then I got put on house arrest. And while on house arrest, I just did my schoolwork. I focused on just that because I had nothing else to do, and I don't know, I just felt like that's what I should do, and got myself pretty far ahead. I didn't have to really do anything my junior and senior year. I had to wrap up a couple of electives, and at the school I went to, I was able to do 2 of my electives. Were absolutely ridiculous how they allowed me to get my credit, but I still got my diploma. I was a hall monitor, but I called myself the sheriff, and I just walked around and pretty much told kids I had to get to class and say, hey, where's your hall pass? And there was no hall passes. Like, we didn't need hall pass. And then I also did an extra PE class. So I taught the extra PE class. So I pretty much just supervised other kids, had them be active, and determine if they passed or not. It wasn't like a grading situation. It was just, hey, you need to actually do something. So it was actually a pretty easy class for people to pass, but I did have to fail some people because they just purely did not want to do anything. That's on them. But going back to the exam, I was really shook on that thing. The amount of stress and anxiety I had going into it was pretty heavy. And then the other thing was, I had to be on like a lockdown browser because modern era, modern day, you got to make sure people aren't using AI and cheating and stuff. So I'm on this lockdown browser. I have to be in front of my laptop for the camera to work. I can't be talking to somebody else. What's the other things? I can't be looking around like too much, because I want to make sure that you don't have like, you got to turn your camera around and make sure to show your surroundings so that they know you don't have like the answers or like cheats put up on like a piece of paper on the wall or something like that. And in the middle of it, I was probably about halfway through. I live out in the country down a pretty long like driveway, and no one shows up out there. The only person that shows up out there is my landlord, because he's got like farmland back there. He's got crops and an orchard and stuff. And somebody came out and was banging on the door. I mean, they did like 3 or 4 times. And my wife had our dog, Wilbur, in the bedroom, just chilling with her. He's a blue-nosed pit, and he's very rambunctious. He wants to love all the time. But she gave me the space. She had him in there with her, and everything was fine until that knock happened. And Wilbur's losing his shit. I'm I don't know, it kind of derailed my thoughts. I started questioning myself, I second guessing myself. And I think honestly, when I went back through, so I answered all the questions. You have like a time limit. I think it's like 60 minutes. There's 40 questions. I answered everything, and then I went back through the questions. And I think because I started just getting paranoid and started second guessing myself, I switched a couple of my answers, and I think that's what kind of set me up. I didn't do bad, but I didn't do great. I hit pretty much right in the middle. I got like a 76. And I was, kind of like, man, I messaged my professor about it. Like, I think I bombed this test. And she's like, you didn't bomb it. Obviously, you still understood majority of it, but you obviously had room to improve as well. Very true, 100% accurate. And I planned on meeting up with her after class on one of the days, and we're going to kind of go over the exam together, but kind of break down, what I could have done differently and what the answers were and what maybe I missed. And the day before that, she came in, it would have been, I was supposed to have the meeting with her. She came into the lecture and offered the entire class an opportunity. Now, there were some people that got, aced it, nailed that exam. And I really like how she offered this. So for the people that nailed it, they're good, and you can keep your grade. You don't have to do this. It's optional. But she did offer us a second chance, which was not on the table before, at this exam, where it is required this time to have notes and to show your notes and show what you were using. And I like how she did it's kind of like the balance of it. So if we take the exam, whatever our answer or our result is, she will take the two tests and it will be the average of the two. So it makes it more fair, because it shouldn't be somebody who nailed the test the first time is there, without having notes. It should be pretty much like their points way more than somebody who comes back and gets 100% with notes. That's not necessarily fair for the people that nailed it first time and actually did it the way they were supposed to, which I see is totally fair. I do see some of the holes of what I should have done differently and how I could have studied different. And I think now I have a better understanding. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to hit 100%, but I definitely think I'm going to do better than what I did. So after my lectures and stuff, I'm going to head back home. I'm going to do some studying, and then I'm thinking I'm probably going to take it today. I do have the option to take it tomorrow, as long as I get it done before 11:59 at night. And it's just something like that. I was so paranoid about it. I was so like, oh man, I'm doing horrible. My results brought my grade down to like a B, which is not bad at all. And it's just so, I started doing the addictive side of my mind was so just fixated on it and catastrophizing. Oh, this is the end of the world. It's one exam and we have more to go. That's not the end of everything. I don't know. I just feel like I should give myself some grace, and I hope you guys do the same. Just, take it easy. Not everything in life is going to go perfect. I just need to step back and realize that there's going to be bumps in the road, and it's all about how I handle it. It's not about if you fall. It's about how you get back up and carry yourself to move forward. And with that, guys, I'm going to end it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, and I will catch you guys next time.